Welcome to the deep dive. So if you've ever looked into these get paid to platforms, GPTs they're often called, you've probably seen the name Freecash pop up.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the more visible ones out there.
Exactly. And our mission today is really to cut through the hype, give you a clear shortcut to understanding how platforms like this actually work. You know, what you can realistically expect. We've gone through a bunch of sources to pull out the key stuff for you.
And it's interesting because we're seeing this shift, aren't we? Companies moving away from just like blasting ads everywhere.
Yeah.
They're actively trying to get people involved, directly feedback, trying out apps, that sort of thing. Platforms like Freecash are right in the middle of that.
So, yeah, for this deep dive, we really want to unpack Freecash specifically, how it works, the ways you might actually earn something.
And, crucially, the things you really need to think about before diving in yourself.
Okay, so let's get into it. For anyone maybe not super familiar, what is Freecash at its core? We know it's a GPT platform and app. You earn rewards for tasks. But how does it function?
Well, fundamentally, Freecash is like a middleman, really.
Okay.
They partner up with companies, could be game developers, market research firms, you name it, who want people to engage with their stuff.
Engage how, though? Like, what do they want?
It varies a lot. Sometimes it's installing an app. Sometimes it's answering survey questions, maybe reaching a certain level in a game.
Ah, right.
So instead of, say, paying for a billboard ad, these companies pay Freecash when a user, like you, completes one of these specific tasks.
And then Freecash gives you a cut.
Exactly. They share some of that payment with you. It's often a pretty efficient way for those businesses to get users or data they need.
Gotcha. So that kind of direct link really leads to the big question. How do you actually earn? What are the tasks?
Yeah, that's where it gets interesting. There's quite a variety.
From what we saw, playing games seems like a really big one.
Yeah.
People love the idea of getting paid to play games, right?
Totally. But it's usually not just casual play. It's more like download this game, reach level 15 within, say, 7 days.
Ah, so there are targets.
Yeah, specific milestones. It's actually quite smart from the developer's perspective. They get install, sure, but also data on early engagement. Like, are people sticking with the game?
Right. So your play is kind of like feedback for them.
In a way, yes. Beyond games, taking surveys is another major earner.
Okay. Standard market research stuff.
Pretty much. Freecash links you to these research companies. You give your opinions on products, maybe political views, whatever they're asking about. You get paid per completed survey.
But I've heard, and our sources mention this too, that surveys can be frustrating.
That's probably the biggest complaint you see, disqualification.
Right.
You can spend, 10 minutes answering screening questions,
Yeah.
only to be told you don't fit the profile they need for that specific study.
Ouch. So you get nothing for that time.
Usually no, or maybe a tiny amount. It's because the researchers need very specific demographics, and if you're not it, well, they move on. It really impacts that whole time versus reward calculation people do.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, so games, surveys, what else? Our sources talked about testing products and services.
That could mean signing up for a new app and trying it out, maybe doing a free trial for a subscription service.
Okay.
And then there are the simpler, often lower-paying tasks, things like watching videos, downloading other apps just for the install, signing up for email newsletters, quick hits, basically.
And for the really keen users, there's a competitive side too, leaderboards.
Yeah, they often have daily and monthly leaderboards. The top earners on the platform can get extra cash bonuses. It definitely incentivizes people to be more active if they're chasing those top spots.
Okay, so you do these tasks, you rack up points. How do you actually get something tangible? How does the payout work?
Right, the cash out. This is actually one area where Freecash seems quite flexible, connecting it to the bigger picture. It's a point system, like you said. Earn points, then redeem them.
For what, though? Just cash?
Cash is a big one, usually via PayPal. That's probably the most common.
Okay.
But they often offer bank transfers, too, depending on your region. And cryptocurrency is frequently an option. Bitcoin, Ethereum, sometimes others.
Interesting. Crypto.
Yeah. And then, of course, gift cards. Lots and lots of gift cards. Amazon, Apple, Google Play, retailers, restaurants. A pretty wide selection, usually.
So good range of options there. Which brings us to the really crucial part, I think. What does this all mean for you, the listener, if you're actually considering using something like Freecash? We've talked about how it works, but what's the reality check? What do our sources really stress that you need to know?
The absolute number one thing is realistic expectations about earnings.
Right. It's not a replacement for a job, is it?
It's definitely not. While you can earn some extra money, the sources and user reports suggest the effective hourly rate often works out to be, well, pretty low, often significantly below minimum wage.
Especially if you factor in the time on surveys you get kicked out of, or tasks that just don't pay much.
Precisely. So think of it as maybe pocket money or earning enough for a specific small goal, but not, a serious income stream. It takes a lot of time to earn anything substantial.
Yeah, it's not free cash in the sense of being effortless.
Not at all. The free refers to not paying to join, but you're paying with your time and your data, essentially.
And that leads to another really critical point from our research, being super careful about scams. Anything promising huge amounts of money for almost no work.
That's a massive red flag, always. Be wary of apps or sites asking for too much personal info up front, or anything asking you to pay money to unlock higher earnings, or share sensitive bank details outside of a known secure process like PayPal.
Remember the sign?
Excessive permissions requests from an app, pressure tactics, promises that just sound way too good to be true. Remember, you should be getting paid, not the other way around. Avoid anything calling itself a money generator, too.
Good advice. Okay, and finally, user reviews. We looked at a lot of them, and it really seems like a mixed bag for Freecash, doesn't it?
Very much so. You'll find plenty of people who say, yeah, it's legitimate. I cashed out $10 or $20. It works. They see it as a decent little side thing.
But then there are the others.
Right. And lots of them. People get really frustrated. We already mentioned the survey disqualifications. But other common complaints are things like tasks just drying up after a while, earnings getting slower over time, maybe points not tracking correctly, or even accounts getting suspended suddenly without a clear reason.
That sounds rough.
It is. And users often feel like their time just isn't valued or the payout doesn't match the effort involved. It really highlights why you need to read a lot of reviews, the good and the bad, before deciding if it's worth your time.
So that really wraps up our deep dive for today. We've looked at what Freecash is, a GPT platform acting as that middleman. We covered the different ways you can earn points, from playing games with specific goals to taking surveys, testing services, and those smaller tasks.
Yeah, and the cash out options, PayPal, crypto, gift cards, offering that flexibility.
Maybe most importantly, we've hit those key things to consider. Keeping your expectations about earnings realistic, being really vigilant about potential scams.
And understanding that user experiences are genuinely mixed, so it pays to do your homework.
Exactly. The aim, as always, is just to help you be better informed about these kinds of platforms.
Definitely. And maybe just a final thought to leave you with, beyond Freecash specifically. As you look at these microtasking platforms, it's worth thinking not just about the dollars and cents you might earn, but about the actual value of your time and your attention. In this digital world, almost every click you make, every minute you spend looking at something, can be valuable to someone.
Right.
So understanding what your engagement is truly worth to you, that's becoming a really important skill, I think, something to mull over.